I took my 26-year-old skiing last Tuesday, and we just had such a great time. I told the guys at dinner last night there were three amazing things about that day. Number one, we got to drive my BMW up there and back. So I drove one way and he drove the other. It's about an hour and a half drive, 100 miles an hour. Sometimes. I mean, that car just begs to go fast. Built for speed. Feel the need for speed. And secondly, we had chili bread bowls for lunch. That was as good as skiing. Chili bread bowl. Ooh. But the best thing, Dad and my son, we got to have a father-son day. And he was saying, Dad, I just love it when I can take a day off of work and go skiing with you. See, that's worth everything to me. I don't care at the end of my life if I was known as doing a great job. This is what I care about. Integrity till the end. I finished well. I finished well. So let's bring it full circle. Moses finished well. Deuteronomy chapter 34. Let's look at that. As I mentioned in the last chapter of the book, even though Moses was not allowed to go into the promised land, I personally, my theory is he was not that discouraged about it. Because he pulled off this job for 40 years, and frankly, I think he was tired, and he was ready. And I didn't touch on the chapter this weekend about lead to lead. About preparing your successors, and some of you asked me about that because if you're in student government, you will have to be preparing for the next leaders to come after you. But didn't have a chance to really get into that chapter. But Moses did prepare his successor. Who was his successor? Joshua. And when the time came, I think he was worn out. I mean, he was 120 years old. I think he was ready to pass the baton. I certainly was ready to pass the baton. Deuteronomy 34, verse 1. Then Moses climbed Mount Nebo from the plains of Moab to the top of Pisgah across the Jericho. There the Lord showed him the whole land, all of the land. And the Lord said to him, This is the land I promised an oath to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob when I said, I will give it to your descendants. I have let you see it with your eyes, but you will not cross over to it. Don't you think that was a magical moment? You remember with the first day when I said leadership is taking people from point A to point B? Yeah. Point A was Egypt, point B was the promised land, and God said, you know, you've done a fabulous job, and I just want to take you up on this mountain, just you and me. And I want to show you what you did. There's that land. You faithfully drugged those people. And they did not go in a straight line, did they? 250 miles? 2 months? No, they went on a very squiggly line that took them 40 years. And that's the way life is. Nothing very rarely ever happens in a straight line. Because sometimes we're just not ready for the straight line. And we have to have that time in the desert. But I just think that was a magical, precious moment when God took Moses up on that mountain and Moses got to see it. And I think he just got the biggest grin on his face. That's what I've been striving for 40 years. And I did it. I pulled it off. Here we are, camped at the river, ready for the people to go across with their fresh, capable, new leader. You see, every leader has their moment. And I saw in my leadership that I had to leave because I had taken my organization as far as I could take it. And it was time for the next leader to take it to the next level. And I'm not jealous about the fact that I'm forgotten and the next leader's getting all the attention. I'm excited about that. And I think Moses was very excited.